Hey, thanks for watching. This is going to be real quick on color correcting. I've done videos before on covering up blemishes and like scars and things like that. This is a little geared really quickly a little bit more towards the under eye area. And it can be so frustrating as a woman when you go into the store and there's just a multitude of products that are for the under eye area. And it's crazy because everyone has a different undertoned, I'm not completely different, but women have different undertones, different skin tones. And like Laura Mercier has a great product that I use because I don't have a horrible problem with under eye. And also I did a previous video, so I have some weird colors already on my face. But she has 3 shades. Now women don't fit into the category of 3 shades. And there's just these really simple things that you can do if you happen to suffer from something like really bad darkness under your eyes, or like a random blotches of redness or yellowness or greenness. I mean, there's all kinds of problems. And if you counteract it with a little something that I have decided to show you because it's what I use in makeup a lot, or I think about it at least, is the color wheel, okay? So like I've mentioned in videos before, if you have a red blemish, you go the complete opposite, and green will counteract that. And for some reason that changed the lighting. So if you have a blemish, like I've mentioned before, or a scar, something that's red, you're going to want to cover that with a color that's green, such as like this minty green color here. Okay, that'll look like that. The problem then, though, is that once you've counteracted the red, but then you have to go in with a darker concealer, foundation, well, concealer, you wouldn't want to cover your whole face, to counteract the lightness of that. The same idea kind of applies for under your eyes. The most common problem under your eyes, of course, is for most women, most ethnicities, is the bluish, okay? And that is counteracted with colors such as salmon, peaches, and orangey-ish colors. Okay, so look for those. This is one by Pixie. I don't know if you can see that. I think the best one I have used before. I think it's great, and I can't think of the name of it. I wish I could. Dang. I'll put it in the, I said dang because I live down south now, and I actually say that word, including, I also say fixin' sometimes. But I'll put that in the bottom when I think of it, because I can't think of it. But anyway, you don't want to go in, and like Clinique has one of my favorite under eye concealers, but it's sort of just, it's like almost like a brightener, and if you don't counteract the problem, and you just use a general under eye concealer, especially if it's too light, you're really just highlighting the problem. So what you want to do is you want to correct it first, like you would with a blemish, and then you can go ahead and add your, you know, whatever that blends nicely in, like the Laura Mercier or whatever. But women have different issues. The blue, of course, like I said, mentioned before, was that. Some women, darker-skinned women, instead of some dark skin, instead of a bluish undertone, can actually have a more greenish undertone, and that is actually counteracted with pink, okay, which I have right here, this pink color, which I'll put on my skin so that you can see. I have used in the past matte shadows of pink before because it's hard to come across. This is in a random, it's at Target by J.K. Gemma Kid, which I do not think is a good brand at all. I bought it strictly because I was shocked at the fact that it had a range of yellow, pink, a sort of salmon-y color, and green, and I was just amazed by that. And it had some other stuff in it too that I thought was really unique and cool. Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so yeah, so if you have like, it can also be used for if you have like greenish veins on your skin, some women can have under this area, or, you know, use a pink color. And like I said, you can even use a shadow, as long as it's no shimmer, very matte, and put that on and stick, you know, kind of layer that, pat that in, and then pat in your concealer, your regular concealer, which should be, you know, 1 to 2 shades, no more than 2 shades lighter than that. And then once you do that, then you can highlight your under eye area, and there's nothing more beautiful than this area of your face being light and highlighted. I absolutely love that. But unfortunately, if you have darkness here, and then you highlight that, it just doesn't look right. It can look horrible. I said the thing about the green counteracting the red. Oh, if you have, some women actually have yellow splotches on their skin. Purple can counteract that. So in this awesome palette that I've mentioned a million times, I think everyone should buy because it's like $12 on Amazon. It's by Coastal Scents. They make great products. This is purple, okay? That looks more like a white. That will counteract yellowness. So you would basically go like that, okay? And that would just literally counteract that yellow wherever the yellowness was in your skin, sometimes under your eyes, sometimes here, wherever. Then you'd go in, because that's so light, you'd have to go in with a, normally I'm like here, I mentioned in one of my other videos, you'd go in with a darker color concealer. I'm just doing this really, really quickly to try to match it exactly to your skin tone. So you don't want this. You don't want to walk around like you have purple on. You want to counteract the color, and then you have to use a darker, and I've mentioned this in the videos with the blemishes too, you have to use a darker color concealer to make that blend more into your natural skin. Because the most important thing with covering up anything on your face, the most important thing for blemishes is that everything matches exactly. Don't ever buy a concealer for a blemish that I always find that they seem to be lighter. Anything that you add that would be lighter than your skin tone is going to highlight that area. That's the stupidest thing you could do. Always match it as close as possible with your concealer to your skin tone. So when you go buy a concealer, listen to me. Don't listen to the makeup counter people, because they have literally given me the opposite advice before they knew how smart I was. Anyway, I hope that helps. I'm trying to think of some other things. Yeah, so it's just like I said, if you can't go out and buy something like that, or you don't feel like it, try the shadow thing. Especially if you have the dark circles, try like a very matte orangey or peachy eyeshadow, and then go ahead and put your concealer on and see if that doesn't do wonders for the bluish under there. Yes, baby, I'll be right there.
The cookies are done.
Ooh, okay. Cookies are done. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that helps. Oh, I almost had the name of that awesome under eye concealer. It was it's a peachy one. Salmon something, I want to say. Okay. I'll list it on the bottom thing that nobody reads. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.